Good afternoon, everybody. It's Christmas Eve, and this is my last video I'm gonna do for a couple of days. One of the things that comes up every Christmas is, why do we celebrate this time? And it always comes to my heart is Jesus, his birthday. We celebrate the birth. So the question I have is, what message does Jesus have for us on this day? Christmas has become a moneymaker. It has become sadness, in a lot of cases, frustration, but there's also a lot of happiness as well, a lot of beautiful moments. So be with your family on this day. Be with your family tomorrow, but be with your family as much as you can throughout the year. Be with your children, with your friends. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Appreciate life. Help each other. Be good to one another. Be good to each other. Because you never know. One day, you may be alone, by yourself, away from the ones you love. Because you will need those memories to get through the hard times. But you also may have the friendship of a stranger. Just when you think you need it most, you'll have someone walk into your life. They'll help you through the difficult times. But how many of us have opportunities that we choose not to take because of ego, because we just want to be in our own misery, our own sadness for too long? It is okay to be sad, lonely, because it teaches the value of friendship, of family, of loved ones. So everything we go through life is a lesson. It's a lesson of life, to be human, to live in this physical world. But just don't spend too much time in the dark places. Don't spend too much time with your heads in the clouds. Don't spend too much time thinking of the afterlife. Because we're meant to be here on earth, living this experience, living this reality. That's why we came here. We came here to live as a human being. So let's see what Jesus has to say today, a message. The day before we celebrate his birthday, and it does not matter if it's not the exact day. It matters that that's the day that we have chosen to do. And other places in the world have their own beliefs, and that doesn't matter either. Because it's not about Jesus' birthday so much as about the meaning of what it is, the energy around it, how we have stepped away from it, how we need to come back to the real reasons why we celebrate anything. Give me one moment, please. I look up, and Jesus is coming from above. He's wearing a long robe, which how I see him. His hair is white, his robe is white, his skin is white, his heart is pink, so pink. He comes, he grabs my hands before he comes to the ground, and he lands on the ground in front of me, and he smiles at me. He sends energy from his heart into mine, and I see tears coming down my eyes. The tears of things that I've forgotten. It's not sadness so much as memories. He shows me long ago how excited I got at Christmas. He shows me the time where my kids got excited from Christmas. And he shows me the times where people in our lives are so sad at Christmas. He shows me all different things throughout the world, the way people experience Christmas in different ways. And he takes me to a place the children are not fighting. It is a cold place, but it's so warm inside. There's a fire in the living room, and everybody's huddled around the fire. There's a young boy, a young girl, and a mother sitting in between them, and they're cuddling close to stay warm by the fire, and she's telling them stories. The father is cutting wood in the back, and he walks to the door, and he puts the wood down by the place where the wood is stored. He takes a fresh thing of wood and brings it and throws it into the fire. He sits down beside his children. He scoots one of them over so he can be close to his wife. And they enjoy telling stories. You look over at the tree, and there's just a few gifts, not a lot of gifts. The stockings hanging up that are full, that are not full yet, I should say. But they're just regular socks, like the old style of wood socks that we wear to keep warm. But they are happy. They are so happy. And the next morning the kids wake up. The parents are already up, sitting by the tree, have hot chocolate ready for them when they wake up in the morning. The rooms are cold. There's not much heat in the room. But they still don't care. They run down into the living room. They get so excited. The stockings are full of fruit and nuts. But they're so happy. They don't care. They're just so happy that they don't get fruit and nuts very often. And there's chocolate in there as well, but it's right at the bottom. And they pull out the chocolate bar and they just take a small piece and wrap it up and put it back. And they enjoy the actual chocolate so much. They open their gifts and their handmade toys and handmade clothing. And they're so happy. There's no TV here. There's no tablets. There's no cell phones. They take the morning and they build snowmen outside. They build a fort. They spend all day playing with their parents. And then the parents get tired and they go inside and the kids continue to play by themselves. And the parents have time to be by themselves, cuddling by the fire. And I seen changes. And I'm walking up to a big huge house. I walk in, there's lights all, before I walk in, the house is full of magnificent lights to walk by, everything's lit up so beautifully. I walk in the place and there's decorations, everything is perfectly clean, prestigious. And I walk into the room, and there's people in the living room, some playing video games, some on their phones. Even the parents, as one is on the computer, and the other one is on a tablet. They never say much of anything, except wear your headphones. You're ruining my concentration. Turn the volume down on the TV. I can't hear anything. The interactions are shallow, insignificant, in some cases angry. The kids wake up the next morning. They are excited. The tree is full of presents. They start one by one ripping them open, looking at the gifts and throwing it aside. Their clothing they don't care about, they just throw it away. The toys, they're the newest and latest. The kid is a small boy surrounded with presents. And he's sad and crying and angry and says, I wanted a new tablet for Christmas. This is terrible. And he kicks all the presents that he has and runs up the stairs. The little girl, she whines as well. I didn't get what I wanted either. All this stuff is meaningless to her, and she kicks it aside. How come I never get exactly what I want? The parents, they stare at each other and get angry and they yell back and forth and say, I thought you were supposed to get that. Well, I thought you were supposed to get that. They get up, they walk away from each other. The toys just kind of stay on the floor for a while. A person comes in later on and cleans up everything and places it neatly under the tree. A hired maid. The place is pristine. It's like you can eat off everything. It's a beautiful snowy day, but nobody ever goes outside to enjoy it. There is no Christmas music playing. There is no singing, no stories. Everybody does their own thing. And nothing is ever good enough. Jesus looks at me. These are two extreme things. This is what Christmas is becoming. And this is what Christmas used to be. He sits up, he stands up tall, and he looks directly through me to you. What will you make your Christmas be? Take the time to tell your kids stories. Play Christmas music. The good stuff. The stuff that has meaning. The stuff that slows you down. If you have a fire, cuddle by the fire. Maybe use candlelight. Take the time to put your tablets and phones away. Video games. Take the time to play outside with your children, if it's possible. But don't just do this for Christmas. Do it for the whole year. Take the time every day to take your electronics and place them down and spend time together as a family. And couples, spend time by yourself, getting to enjoy each other, to know one another, to talk to one another. Don't ever stop holding hands and kissing and telling each other how much you love one another. It's very easy to become the family, the modern family. But we need to be more like the first family that had nothing but then had everything. I don't expect the world to give up the electronics, but what I expect is to use your heart. Take the time to be human and not allow your imagination, your creativity to be taken away by instruments. It is fun to be lost in a movie. It is fun to get lost in a video game. But balance is what's important. Take the time to take a walk with your children, to talk to your children, to tell your children stories. Take the time to love each other, to hold one another. Take the time He turns around and he starts to walk, or walking down a river, along the edge of the river. When you look at a river or a stream, what do you see? You see water that flows over the land, over rocks, a place where fish live, swim around. where plants live, where ducks are. But water, even when it is stopped by a dam, continues to flow because there's only so much water can be held back until it goes over the dam, so the dam has to release the water. So even if the water stopped for a time, it will find another way to flow. But if water does not have a dam, it never stops flowing. It never stops finding another route, another way. And the things that are in the water are free to move any direction that the water flows. Yes, they are trapped within the water and where the water goes. However, they are free within it. The electronics, when they take over your life, you are not free to be and to grow. So when I look at each and every one of you watching this video, I look within your hearts and I take this tiny stone and I place it in your hearts. And this stone is made out of the most beautiful pink color that you've ever seen. And when you place that stone in your heart, it will give you the ability to see again, to see what is important in life, to understand what it is meant to be alive and to live, not to always worry about what is to come, what might be, what it was, or what I did. It's what I do now that's important. What I do now. That is truly living. To experience everything as it happens now. Open your eyes, Joseph, and look around your room. Look at what you're holding. Study it, feel it, sense it. That's what it is like to be alive, to take the moment and to see what is around you, to feel what is around you, to become part of that. So when you're in a room with your children, do you actually become part of their life, or are you separate? We know children need time to grow by themselves, but they also need time with you to help them grow, to help them understand what is important in life, to help them understand what is right and wrong in your eyes, so they may judge for themselves what is right and wrong. I don't want you to tell them what is right and wrong, or I should say force them to become what you are like inside. But they need to hear from you what you believe is right and wrong, so they may make their own decisions. So you have something in your hands. Show them what it is. Some people will understand, some will not. So This is what he wants me to show you. It is a skull. He says, people are afraid of skulls. What are they afraid of? A reflection of death. Reflections of themselves. The skull itself is open. That represents the willingness to see things differently, to expand yourself into the universe. So as you hold the stone, it allows your mind to open to the universe. But also open into everyone around you and everything around you. So everyone who's watching this video, flow like the river, love like the first family. Take the time to live in the moment. Take the time to be at peace with yourself and the ones you love. And never stop saying to them how beautiful they are, how amazing they are just the way they are. Merry Christmas, everybody. And may 2018 be the most beautiful year that you ever had. A year where you change the world. You change yourself, you change your family, you change your children. Because you changed yourself. Thank you very much, everybody. And now is a message from Jesus to the world on this Christmas Eve. Now I gotta go spend time with my family. And I hope you all do the same. And if you're away from the woman, you're away from the man, your children, your mother, your father, if you're apart from the ones that you love, take the time to connect with them and tell them how much you love them. And take the time to hug the ones that you love and to tell them the same in person. But take the time to be and tell the people around you that are important to you, not necessarily just on this evening, on tomorrow or the next, but throughout the whole year. If you wish to do a journey with me, a session with me, you can visit my website at amonrossawakening.com. I'm also a Northern Lights photography, and I want to check out my website. It's josephbradleyauroras.com. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great Christmas. Take care.